Yeah, Flemington. Yeah, bit my tongue. It's a real big funny joke. Everybody laughed. Spotter's talking to me. I can't talk. I'm holding my tongue. You know, we wrecked, but we probably laughed the hardest that night. Because I'm being all duh. And we iced them down with cold beer that night.
Any regrets, Jim?
Not really.
No?
Nah, everything. Actually, I'm a lot fortunate, you know, the way everything worked out.
Anyone else?
You had that opportunity one time to drive the ARCA car for the Jersey owner. It never came about.
No, it just, there was no resources there to do the job correctly, and yeah, no, it was just not a good deal all the way around, but they made it work. They were there that week. They made it work. But see, what I've learned in the higher the classes you go, you need to bring money with you to these deals, and you're not going to do it unless you have somebody with money taking them. You know, here you go, here's my money, now can we run your car? And that's the way it works today. I mean, it's not fair. We got drivers all over the country that done more than a lot of these guys in Cup and Nationwide Series, but they'll never get there because they don't have the big funding to showcase their talent.
Other than Bill Cox, who was your toughest competitor?
Johnny was.
Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny was. Yeah, by far, he was top man. Top.
What is Jimmy Matthews? There's one recollections of that.
Yeah, it's Jimmy was. He was weird. Like Jimmy would run so good for a couple weeks, and then he would be in the back. He was strange. Like I don't know what fueled him or what his whole deal was, or if, I think he had a bundle of money, spent it all up, and then he didn't have nothing. He could just run on his old stuff, you know. And then he'd find somebody else that would give him a bundle of money, and then, you know, and he would destroy cars and then come back with a new one and then beat everybody for a while. And then it was just never consistent. But he was fast. When he was fast, he was fast. I mean, no mistaking him for you know, and he never cared. He didn't have a care in the world, the guy. I used to talk to him. He used to work for Yates. I used to talk to him once in a while because I was friendly with him, but I haven't heard from him in a long time.
What's your best year?
I mean, there was years we didn't win the points, but there was '97. We won a bunch of races there. I mean, 2000 won the championship again, and '96 was an okay year. We won the championship. We won one race. I mean, but I can say anywhere from '96, '95 was a big year, but '96 on to the end, it was just great for me. I feel, you know, we had our best years then.
And how many races have you won?
There.
In total, everywhere.
I don't know. I think I'm going to say around 50 total, but I think there's 23. I don't know. Speedway though. 22?
What, 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already between 20 and 25, I think.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Did you ever sell your cars? I think you kept them pretty much. I ran them.
Yeah, I used to cut them up and then rebuild them.
You never sold them then, right?
But then I did at the end. I sold two of them. Yeah, a guy named Cole Shea ran it. He actually won a race at Adirondack with it, and then he ended up quitting. So I don't know whatever ended up with him.
You guys built your own roads too?
Actually, we assembled them. I had a guy at CMS, and he was in Bowisville. He did them for me. An old Dutchman. He was great. You know, he built them out of a garage. He had some machines in a single-car garage, and he did motors. He had a dyno in his two-car garage where he kept his wife's car. You'd never know it. I mean, he was a neat guy. I wish then I could have given him a bunch of money to build me a motor, and then You know, let's see how it works, but we just never had it, but fortunate to have that guy though.
Jim, you mentioned Hoopshy. Well, you're probably not old enough to remember him racing, but your dad must have told you stories about him.
Oh yeah. I used to know Hope myself a little bit. You know, I mean, he was always friendly with me, let me do some things there at the shop. But the stories are, I mean, they're unbelievable, the stuff that went on down there. It'd be hours of stories. I mean, like I said, flipping the cars down there in the shop, in a neighbor's yard. I hated them. It was just, I mean, they wrecked cars on the road, just messing around, drinking beer on a Friday night, having a good time. He was crazy. Hope was just crazy. He had 9 lives too. He could get away with anything, right?
And the cast of characters around him.
Yeah. I mean, you know, everybody knew how he was. Nobody got mad at him for the stuff he did. They just laughed at his Hope. You know, what are you gonna do? You know. And the thing with Hope is, I think if he would took racing serious, he would have been unbelievable. But it was right. It was pretty much just a fun time for him, and everybody liked him. You know, nobody hated him. I mean, except for Taz, I guess. He used to get under Taz's skin, didn't he?
Yeah, if I might add something, my cousin was a pit crew member, one of the last original ones that's alive now. So I just did a Steve Barrett interview with the guy on the phone the other night, and it'll be a great thing to share someday, not to take Jimmy's light away tonight.
Who is it?
Ron Geezer.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But he didn't do it in Hook's limelight years. He did it from 58 to 61. But the stories I've got notes this much in the truck. It's just one, and money was never part of it. And he never cared about that. It was just the fun.
Yep. And whatever he could do to make you laugh. Like, I guess I didn't see it, but my dad tells me that flipping the car over in a pitch and taking a big wrench and working on it like they were doing something. They were doing nothing. They were just trying to make people look at it. Spike, see, it's weird because I'm friends with all these guys. I think get long in depth, but like Spike Allen is a friend of mine. His dad used to hang out with them guys, and Spike went out with a car. It was a street car. He'd have the wipers going and a big key on the back. He turned it like he was winding it up, and the people loved it. You know, I see pictures of all this stuff, and they're crazy. Young Spike's crazy. I was with him all weekend, and oh my God, the fun we had. But them guys are just, all they want to do is have a good time, you know?
Did you know the Harrisons and the Aitons and all that, the Milford area? Did you know all them?
Well, my dad knew Leon and them. Yeah, he knew them. I didn't really know them that well. Okay. But like, I'm friends with Ebby Ridge, and his dad is real good friends with Leon. And Ebby, I don't know if you know that name. He raced the '64 before Ken Johnson when it was Klein. He had
Butch
it.
Klein, yeah.
Yeah, Butch Klein had it. He raced that, right, Larry? Before.
Back to Coops.
Yeah, it was a coupe. Yep, and that's before Ken Johnson drove. So, yeah, I'm friends with all. See, it's weird. Like all this goes way back. All are my friends and everything. So it goes way back to racing. It always leads back to racing somewhere, you know.
Is there anybody that? This is a tough question. Is there anybody you never really wanted to race against, or you run a track with them that you stay away from?
No, I always wanted to go best. I always wanted to race against the best because I figured I could learn something by you know what I mean? You always learn something from the best, and that's what we tried to do. But our budget could never really let it happen as much as we wanted to. Like, I always wanted to go race against the best.
Sure. Anybody else have any questions?
I don't want to be hot here, but I did hear your service electric talk when you did the modified race at Nazareth with heater.
Yeah.
You did a good job. And,
thanks.
you know, I just,
well,
was there a chance to do more of that or not?
No, they didn't really want to do that. They were talked into that deal. And it was funny because all the cars that ran at Flemington ran that same next night or next day at the tour race in Nazareth. That was just fun for me. You know, it was like in my element. You know, I could talk and just knew what I was saying with these cars and drivers. I didn't need any information or anything. It was just, it was fun. It was one of the another thing I'll never forget is doing that, you know, with these modifieds. That was so much fun.
Yeah, you look good again.
We have time for one more question. Anybody? One last question for Jim? No? At this time, I'd like to thank Jim for coming out.
Thank you.
All right, you ready? 198159.